You may not remember every bend of this river later, not every boat, not every single moment, but this feeling, you will. The moment when Dalyan slowly becomes smaller behind you, the wind suddenly smells different. The light dances across the water, as if it is in a hurry to reach somewhere. It doesn't take long. Then you realize that your eyes are no longer constantly looking for something to focus on. They simply wander, across the reeds, toward the boats, to the mountains, to the sky, as if finally your mind has stopped searching for what comes next. There is always something happening on this river. Boats pass by, people laugh, one captain waves to another. Fishermen know every bend, and yet somehow no one feels like a stranger. Maybe that is exactly what makes Dalyan so special. You are only here for a day, and yet you somehow feel like you belong. Then suddenly the ancient rock-cut tombs appear in the cliffs. They were not built to impress tourists. They were carved thousands of years before anyone had even imagined a holiday. They remind you of how small we really are, and at the same time, they remind you how precious time is. The journey continues. The river becomes wider. The light becomes brighter. The wind grows stronger. And somewhere between the river and the sea, something strange happens. You stop checking your phone. You stop thinking about home. You are simply here. Maybe that feeling lasts only a few minutes. Maybe it stays with you for the entire day. But isn't that exactly why we travel? Not to take as many photos as possible, but to feel for a moment what freedom feels like again. And then, there it is. Iztuzu, that endless beach between the river and the sea. People step off the boats. Some immediately walk toward the water. Others simply stand there, because sometimes words cannot keep up with feelings. Later, the boat takes you back. The same river, the same mountains, the same boats. And yet everything looks different. Not because Dalyan has changed, but because something inside you has changed. Maybe only for one afternoon, maybe for a little longer. And that is exactly why people still talk about their boat trip in Dalyan years later. Not because it was spectacular, but because for a few hours, it gave them something that has become so rare in everyday life. Time, peace, and the wonderful feeling of being exactly where you want to be.